the column for another time. I want to start by asking you about Elon Musk's the newest public admirer, Vladimir Putin. Putin said yesterday at an economic forum in Vladivostok, when it comes to private business, Elon Musk, he is without a doubt an outstanding person, one has to admit. I think everyone would admit that all around the world, he is an active, talented businessman. That's a real gee whiz comment from Vladimir Putin.
The
But
type of compliments you don't want to get.
well, maybe, but it does lead people to wonder about this relationship. There are times when you wonder almost if it's a bromance. And I want to ask you about what you've learned about Musk's contacts with Putin. Has he spoken with him, as has often been suggested? What does he think about him? And maybe most to the point, if Donald Trump became president, what sort of relationship would you imagine that Musk would have with Putin?
Well, let's start with whether or not he's talked to Putin. I know some people have said that Musk goes around saying, "Oh, I talked to Putin." Whenever I talked to Musk, he said, "No, no, I talked to the Russian ambassador, somebody, and sometimes I get messages, of what this is, what Soviet Russian policy is." But as far as I know, at least he told me he had no direct conversations with President Putin. And as far as his relationship, he has this almost hero complex. So, as you know full well, when the Russians invaded Ukraine, he immediately came to the aid of Ukraine. And Viasat, the satellite company, its satellites were all disabled. Even the US and other military couldn't do satellite communication. So, Ukraine, as Vice Minister Fedorov has said often, would have been crushed had Starlink, had SpaceX and Musk not rushed in Starlink satellites. So I think that he still is quite in favor of protecting Ukraine. I also know from talking to him, he thinks that this war has gone on quite a long time, and perhaps a ceasefire would be useful now.